So good morning all once again. So now we will learn about the graphical representation of a motion. First we need to understand what is graphical representation of a motion. See, now I started my bike here. And I am going to it. And I am going with more speed, less speed, more speed, less speed. And with respect to what? Time. How I am telling? I am going means if I reach in very less time, means I moved with a very more speed. And if I reach my destination in a less time, means I reached in a less time. Means with I went to a low speed. That I can say. That means we are using a time as a reference. We are using a time as a reference, and we are measuring the distance. Okay. So we need to show it on a graph now. Suppose graph means what? That is a coordinate system. In that graph we will be having a x-axis and means two axes. Here in the graph we will be having a two axes. Yes, in the graph we will be having a two axes. So I can say this name as a x-axis for your understanding. This is a y-axis. Okay. This is our graph, and I need to show what I am doing here. Means I am going here and I am traveling here from A place to B place, and I am covering some distance with respect to my time. Okay. So at 0 second, what is my distance? At first second, first minute, how much distance I covered? At third minute, how much distance I covered? Fifth minute, how much distance I covered? That I will show it on a graph. So before representing it on a graph, first I will make as in the tabular form. I will make it in the form of a table form. In table what? Here time and distance. This only na? Suppose here at 0 seconds, time is in seconds and distance is in kilometers. Suppose time is in meter. Time it can be a seconds, minutes or hours. We can see. Okay. Just this is for example purpose. For our understanding only I am teaching this one. Here at time 0 seconds you can take. You are in a 0 distance covered. Suppose after some 5 seconds you covered some 1 kilometer. Example, in 5 seconds we cannot cover it. Here you can take in 1 hour. 1 hour. In hour some in 0 hours you are covering a 0 minutes, 0 meters. In 5 hours you covered some 10 kilometers. And in 10 hours you covered 20 kilometers, and in 15 hours you covered 30 kilometers. Okay, in 20 hours you covered 40 kilometers. Like that it is. Now we showed it on a table form. Now I need to show this on my graph. How I can show? Same. This time is on one axis, this distance is on another axis. I need to write here. Here on x-axis for my convenience I am writing here time, and for y-axis I will write here distance. It is in kilometers and it is in hours. And just I will mark all this point on x-axis at time 0. So here at 0 time 0 distance. Same at 5 hours of time. And I cover 10 kilometers at 5 hours and 10 kilometers here. So this is the one mark. Again at 10 hours 20 kilometers. At 10 hours here and 20 kilometers is here. So this one is another point. Like this I will cover all this point. And now I will join all these points here. So this is one graphical representation. And when you see your cricket match, so you will, in between the match, you will get the analysis. In one over, how he scored. Okay, that vertical bar graph will be there here, and each team and in each over how many runs are scored. Suppose that is a 20 overs match now. Suppose that is a 20 overs match. So in first over how many scores? In second over how many? Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, like this. So this x-axis represents what? Overs. And y-axis represents what? Score. Is it understood? Is it okay for you all?
Yes, sir.
Are you understanding now? So what is the importance of graph? The importance of graph is, if you are having a table like this now, you cannot judge anything from this table as soon as possible. In very less time we cannot judge anything. But from this graph now, I can judge. I can tell by seeing this graph now, in which over the more maximum score has happened. That I can say from this graph easily by reading this table. Compared to by reading this table, to read a graph is very easy and very informative also. Okay, that is why we need a graphical representation. So here in this graph I represented a graph, our motion in a graph. I represented our motion from this table to graph. So this is the importance of a graphical representation. Next, in this graphical representation we will be having two graphs. One is a distance time graph, another is a velocity and time graphs. Always we will take this time as a reference, one reference in our this motion chapter. Okay. So here the change in position of an object. One object is moving from one place to another place. It is changing its position, and we will consider it with respect to as a time, and we will represent this object motion from one point to another point. Okay, with the help of this graph. So now here on x-axis we will take a time, and on the y-axis we will take distance, and the x-axis will be having a time. So here time is in minutes. You need to represent. You should not forget here. Time is in minutes and distance is in kilometers. Now I will ask Shalini. In 60 minutes, how many kilometer distance the object is covered? Tell me in 60 minutes.
40 kilometers.
In 60 minutes, it's covered. In 60 minutes, it covered 40 kilometers. Perfect. Manivardhan, in 40 minutes, how many kilometers it's covered? That object is covered.
So that
Yes, in 40 minutes. Yeah, this is. Okay, this is the thing. Next, means you need to learn, means you need to judge from the graph itself. So next, in 20 minutes, how many kilometers it has? The object is covered. In 20, just you go, you follow this line here, you are touching here, and you take here. So here, some 11 or 12 kilometers like that. Okay. So this is we can understand and from the graph, and by seeing this graph, what we can judge. Same here also. Here also, what we can judge from this graph. Suppose here, what we need to do for every 5 hours of time. For every 5 hours, how much my distance is changing? 0 to 10 kilometers means 10 to 20 means here for every 5 hours I am changing here 10 kilometers. For every 5 hours I am changing 10 kilometers means now here proportionality. Here time and distance are proportional. Now if time changes 5 hours, here distance always changes 10 kilometers only. Okay. Now here we can say this distance is proportional to a time taken. Can we say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why? Because here for every 5 hour changes now, here my distance is changing at 10 kilometers. Suppose means from here we can calculate for 2.5 hours changing, for 2.5 hours time changing, how much distance I will cover? For 2.5 hours. For 5 hours I am making 10 kilometers change. For 2.5 hours, half of time. So here my distance also will be half, 5 kilometers. Clear? For 5 hours,
Yes, sir.
for 5 hours 10 kilometer. Then for 2.5 hours, how many kilometers it will cover?
5 kilometers. 5 kilometers.
Okay. So means we can say here by seeing this graph, this O is there, na? This reference point O and B. OB is our distance covered graph. Means here. Okay. OB. So we are following through the OB. Means our graph is following the OB. So next, and the portion of OB represents is what? I already told you. This OB represents is what? Is that if my time is increases in this way, if my time is increases, my distance is also increases. Suppose next here, let's sum 70. Here it will be go like this here. Then here, this is my distance. Clear? Understood? Now I know the distance, I know the time. Now I need to calculate the speed of the object. What is the speed of the object? Okay, that I need to calculate. Suppose my object is moving from O to O2 means B. Suppose if I consider from this time, what is the velocity of a object when it has a time at 40 minutes to 60 minutes, means here time 1 to time 2, what is its speed? That is I need to find. My object is moving from O, from 0, but I need to find at t1 time and at t2 time what will be my speed of the object, that is I need to find. So from this graph what I can do? From this graph what I can do? Here just take perpendicular of this t1, just do vertical line, we make one point here A, and from here time t2, here I will make another vertical line, here one line, another line, then same represent this point on a y axis, same this point on a y axis, means it has a distance of s1, distance of s2. I will represent s1 as a distance, s1 as a distance 1, s2 as a distance at point 2. Clear? Now suppose at single distance and single time, how to calculate the speed? Speed is equal to distance by time only, na? S means here, S means speed here for my reference. Suppose I can write V is equal to distance d by time. This is the basic formula of a speed. But now in this graph I want to calculate the speed between the time t1 and t2. I need to calculate my speed between these two times. So then I am doing in this way. So here, so what is the distance covered? Speed is equal to distance by time, na?
Yes, sir.
What is the distance? Speed is equal to what is the distance? Distance is difference between S2 and S1 only, na? How much distance I covered? This distance only I covered between T1 and T2. So S2 minus S1. And what is the time taken? Time taken from where to where? T1 to T2, na? Here T2 is the highest time.
Yes, sir.
So I should take T2 minus
T1.
T2 minus T1. So this is my speed. I got this one. Now you understood now why this speed is equal to S2 minus S1 by T2 minus T1. Huh?
Yes, sir.
So now we can plot this distance time graph is there, na? For accelerated motion also. Now here we are having a uniform acceleration. Okay. Now for accelerated motion also we can calculate this distance and time graph. Just you observe this table here. Time is in seconds, distance is in meters. So at 0 seconds distance is in what? 0 meter. At 2 seconds,
0 meters.
1 meter. 4 seconds at 4 meters. 6, 9 meters. Whether it is changing uniform or not, what? Uniform or non-uniform?
Non-uniform.
Non-uniform. Yes.
Non-uniform.
Here it is changing a uniform. Here it is changing a uniformly. But here it is a non-uniform. Non-uniform. Okay. Now I need to draw the graph for this one, for table 8.2. So if I draw graph now, I will get in this way. This is y-axis is in the distance, x-axis is the time in seconds. Okay. So here at 0 second, at 2 seconds, here we are having at 2 seconds 1 meter. At 4 seconds 4 meters. 6 seconds 9. If you draw graph now, we will get this one. If you plot all the points, if I join all the points, I will get this one. So now this is a non-uniform. Okay, this is a non-uniform speed. Understood? Why it is a non-uniform speed? Why? Because my distance is varying with respect to the time in a non-uniform way. So that is why my speed is also will become as a uniform, non-uniform speed. Okay. So now here you observed here two graphs. This is our second graph and this is our first graph. Here we can say this is a linear relation. This graph shows a linear relation between this distance and time. And this is a non-linear. I can say this is a non-linear graph. No? This is a why? Because we are having a non-linear relation between this distance and this time. This graph is a non-linear only. No? Linear means in this way. If I have the graph in this way, this is a linear graph. And suppose if I am having like this or any, this is a non-linear graphs. Understood now what is a linear and non-linear graphs, and you will get to know more about this linear and non-linear graphs in your future classes also. Okay. Now we will understand about the velocity and time graphs. So now the variation of a velocity. See here, velocity and time graph. Velocity will be in a one axis and this time will be in another axis. Okay. Now how our velocity is varying with respect to time. In the previous case we learned about the how distance is varying with respect to time, that we represented in a one graph. Now we will learn about the how velocity is varying with respect to our time, that we will learn here and here. Y-axis and velocity and an x-axis time. Time it is in hours. Velocity, what is the unit of velocity? What is the unit of velocity? Unit meter per second or centimeter per second or kilometer per hour. For speed and velocity we are having the same unit. Okay. Understood?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
So now velocity for a uniform motion. For a uniform motion we will be having a one velocity only. For uniform motion. For non-uniform motion velocity will be ups and down. Velocity will be changing. But for uniform motion velocity will be a constant. So now we are moving with some 40 km per hour here. Yes, 40 km per hour. Means this is a constant value, no? So I can take this line like this. Understood? Now I am having a time instant at t1 and t2. Now I need to calculate what is the velocity between this t1 and t2 for a uniform motion of a car. For a uniform motion of a car, I need to calculate the velocity between this time instant t1 and t2. It can be a 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 7 seconds, anything, this t1 and t2. but we are having two different instants. That is why I am taking T1 and T2. Two different types. No? That is T1 and T2. So now I need to calculate the velocity. So how to calculate the velocity? Normally we know speed is equal to distance by time. No?
Distance by time.
Okay. So here the speed and velocity. The speed and velocity. When you consider the only magnitude, na, the velocity is equal to a speed only. Na? When we consider the magnitude, the velocity is equal to a speed. But when you consider the direction also, then the speed and velocity are different. Why? Because in speed we will talk about a distance covered, and in velocity we will talk about a displacement. So this displacement into time is nothing but a velocity. Distance into time is nothing but a speed. Okay. So now I want to know the distance moved by a car from a T1 to T2. Okay. And here just I need to take, here I am having a velocity as a 40 km/h. I draw here straight line that is parallel to x axis. Now I want to know from the T1 to T2. So at T1 I am drawing a one perpendicular line, and at T2 I am drawing another perpendicular line, and it is intersects at point A and point B. Okay. Now we are having a portion of ABCD. We are having a portion of ABCD. Okay. So the distance covered from T1 to T2, the distance covered from T1 to T2 that I need to measure. So here velocity is equal to displacement upon time. Next, now I need to calculate this displacement. When I means now talking about the velocity, it has a displacement. Now here I am considering only the magnitude. That is why I can say here instead of displacement I can say here distance also. Distance covered. Distance covered is equal to speed or velocity into time. Is this right? Is this understand? Understood now? Okay. Then here I am talking about only magnitude now. So here instead of speed I can write velocity also. Velocity and speed are equal when I talk about a magnitude. So here what is the velocity or a speed? We are having 40 km/h. Multiply with time. What is the time? Time is here, from here to here. No? So T2 minus T1. Understood? Means it is nothing but what? We are finding a area of this rectangle. This is nothing but what? We are finding a area of this rectangle. Area of rectangle is the what? AC multiply with this CD. Length into breadth only, na? So what is the breadth? What is the breadth? Breadth is a 40 km/h. And what is the length? Is it T2 minus T1. T2 minus T1. We are talking about only the T1 and T2. Is it understood now? Huh? So here you observe here one more example. See, this is for a uniform motion. For non-uniform motion, the velocity and time graph will be different. For non-uniform motion. Now here we are talking only about a uniform motion. Next, if you observe here one velocity of a car at regular instance of a time. We are having a time and a velocity of the car. You just can take in meter per second or a kilometer per hour. You know how to convert this meter per second to kilometer per hour or kilometer per hour to a meter per second. You know? Again I will tell you. Kilometer per hour na I need to convert it into a meter per second. Okay, so 1 kilometer is how many meters? 1000 meters. By 1 hour is a how many seconds? 1 hour is a 60 minutes. 1 minute is a 60 seconds.
3600.
So 1000 upon 3600 seconds. So it's just 2 zeros, 2 zeros. So 10 by 36. 10 by 36 meter per second. So now if I do with 2 18 ja, 2 5 ja. So 5 by 18 meter per second means 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 5 by 18 meter per second. Now I will tell you, you please convert this 9 kilometer per hour into a meter per second. Just convert 9 kilometer per hour to dash meter per second. How much? I will calculate. Simple. 9 multiply with 5 by 18. So 9 1 ja, 9 2 ja, 2, 2.5. So 9 kilometer per hour is equal to 2.5 meter per second. Understood? Okay. Now you understood that how to convert kilometer per hour to meter per second. Now suppose you want to convert meter per second to kilometer per hour. Just do reverse. 1 meter per second. 1 meter per second is equal to just this 5 by 18 is there, na? This will come to this side. Means 18 by 5 kilometer per hour. These two relations are very important. While solving your problems, example problems, these two are very important. Clear? You understood now how we got this 5 by 18 and this 18 by 5? Don't confuse here. Okay? If you know the concept, you won't confuse. So, next, here, velocity time graph for a moving car for a uniform acceleration. For a uniform. Same here. Here I am with a constant. Here I am having a constant velocity. Same 40 km per hour. Now my velocity is also changing uniformly. What is the difference between this graph and this graph? Okay. So here my velocity is changing. My velocity is changing with respect to time. If velocity is changes with respect to time, it is known as what? Acceleration only, na? Acceleration. Acceleration is nothing but change in velocity upon a time. So our velocity is changing with respect to time. So we can say this is a velocity and time graph. Velocity and time graph for a uniform acceleration motion. Here in this graph we can say velocity and time graph for a uniform motion of a car. Here we are not considering any change in velocity. Here we don't have any change in velocity. We are having a constant velocity. But in this graph we are having a change in velocity. The velocity is changing with respect to time. So we can say this graph is a velocity and time graph for uniform accelerations. Why I am telling it as a uniform accelerations? The velocity changing means with respect to time. Na? So here, you just observe here. If you make it in a tabular form, na? So here time and velocity. For first 5 seconds, first at 0, it has a 0 only. Time is in seconds, velocity is in a kilometer per hour. For 5 seconds, next 5 seconds it has a 10. Next 10 seconds it has a 20. Next 15 seconds it has a 30. So how it is changing? For each 5 seconds the velocity is changing a 10 kilometer per hour only. Understood? For each 5 seconds the velocity is changing a 10 kilometer per hour. So now we are saying it has a uniform acceleration. When we can say this is a non-uniform accelerated motion? Suppose here first 5 seconds it has a some 10, next 5 seconds it has a some 20 km per hour velocity changing, then next 5 seconds it has a some 25, next in 5 seconds it has a some 10. If it is changing, varying, if velocity change is varying, then we can say it is a non-uniform accelerated motion. So now here I want to calculate the distance covered from this velocity and time graph. How much distance is covered from time t1 to time t2? What is the distance covered of my object from t1 to t2 from this velocity and time graph? So I am having this velocity and time. So in the previous case, how I told now, at t1 you just draw one perpendicular which touches to our graph, and at t2 you just draw one more perpendicular line which touches to our graph. Okay. So here we are having a point A and point E here. Clear now? Now this is my area of reference. Means if I calculate this area, like in the previous example we calculated the area of a rectangle, same here, velocity is equal to distance by time. Here I need to calculate the distance. Distance is equal to this velocity into time. So velocity is how much into time, that I need to calculate. So that is this graph, this area is formed after this one only. So if I calculate this area, I can say this is a distance traveled or distance covered by the object. Clear? So what is the distance covered? So here we can divide it as a two parts. Here is a one part, means this is a one square and here it has a triangle. So this is easy for us to calculate the area. So what is the area of a square? What is the area of a square? Side square. What is the area of a triangle? Half into length into breadth. Okay. Half into base into height, not length into breadth. Half into base into height. Half into base is that this one. Height is that d. The area of a triangle is that half into base is that AD into height is how much? D. What is the area of this portion? AB into AD. Now I need to add this two. Now if I add these two areas, then I can cover this area. Okay. And one more thing. This is a trapezium. This is a trapezium. I can calculate this area by using a trapezium formula. We are having a trapezium in this way. So this is the A, this is B, and this is the height H. Okay. Now what is the area of a trapezium? The area of a trapezium is that half into A plus B, these two sides into H. This is the area of trapezium. Understood? Everyone, I am asking everyone, please respond properly. Okay. So these two are same only. This formula and this two are same. Now here we are having a two graphs. This is a one graph another graph. See here, velocity, how velocity is changing with a time. It is in a non-uniformly. This is a uniform, or this is, you can say, this is a linear. This is a non-linear relation between velocity and time. Here, check also. Velocity is increases, again decreases, increases, decreases. These are non-uniform accelerated motion. Velocity and time graph of a non-uniform accelerated motion. Okay. So here, you just check from here also. Distances of a station D and C from A, and times of departure of a train. This. So now you need to plot and interpret the distance time graph of the train, assuming that is the motion between the two stations. We can able to draw distance and time graph. You please solve this one as a homework. This one. If you not understand, then I can teach you. And this one also. You please go through all these activities. These activities will help you to apply your concepts accurately. These activities will help you to apply what you learn. You learn here distance and time graph, and velocity and time graph, and how to calculate the distance traveled in distance and time graph, and in velocity and time graph. That we learn, that we need to apply here. So these are the basic activity problems. So please go through that. Okay. So we understood here what is the nature of the distance time graphs for uniform and non-uniform motion of an object. We got to know what is a uniform and non-uniform motion, and how the distance and time graph will vary. And what can you say about the motion of an object whose distance time graph is straight? If distance and time graph is straight, this one. Okay. What can you say about the motion of an object? This motion is a uniform motion of object. This motion has a uniform motion only, na? See in this graph. This is a uniform motion. If it is a constant here, this is a uniform motion. Okay. So please go through these two problems also. Next, I am going to solve, or I am going to derive the equation for a velocity and time relations. Okay. Now I am so before that I will tell you about what are the equations of motion. Okay, that we will discuss. So we are having three equations. Three equations means which are position and time, velocity and time, position and time, and one more. This is the first equation. So this is second equation. This is the first equation. The third equation is that position and velocity. We are having three equations in our motion topic. Here, three equations which are velocity and time, position and time, position and velocity. Means if I solve these two equations, I will get this third equation. So that is why here position and this velocity, both combinations are there here. So this is the first equation. V is equal to U plus AT, and the second equation is that S is equal to UT plus of AT square, and the third equation is that 2AS is equal to V square minus U square. Now I will tell you what is V, what is U, and what is A, and what is time. Here V is a final velocity and U is a initial velocity. Normally this initial velocity for a uniform accelerated motion, it will be zero only, always we will take it as a zero. When I start my bike, I am not moving, means my initial velocity is a zero. Okay, and here A is an acceleration. T is a time. And what is S? S is a displacement. Clear? We covered all the parameters now? Okay. Next, I will explain the velocity and time. This first equation. So here, this I will velocity v is equal to u plus at. How we are getting this v is equal to u plus at? Means here final velocity is equal to initial velocity plus acceleration into time. How I am getting that equation? That we will learn here, and I will derive it also. So please observe this graph. Please observe this graph. So here, this graph here we are having on y-axis is a velocity and x-axis we are having a time. Clear? And we are not considering as our initial velocity as a 0. If I start from here now, my graph will be like this. Here. My graph will be here. Then in this way, here I will be having a 0 as my initial velocity. But I want to prove that equation, so I won't take, means I will take some initial velocity u. That is a some initial velocity u, means from 0 to some u is there my initial velocity. Here this is my initial velocity, and from here I am moving uniformly. Here I am moving uniformly, so my graph will be like this. And what is my final velocity? I moved from 0 to at time t seconds. At time t seconds I stopped at point B. And what is my final velocity? I stopped here now, so I will check what is my velocity. V is my final velocity, and this is the time where I need to take. So you understood here? Till now you understood now? What is our initial velocity and what is our final velocity? You clear? Clear now? This graph is you understood now? Respond quickly if you understand or not. You just tell me. If you not understood, I will tell you again.
Yes, sir.
Okay, done.
Yeah.
Next. So here we started with the initial velocity as a u, and I stopped here as a with the final velocity v. Okay. So from this graph, I need to calculate the distance covered. I need to calculate the distance covered. Okay. So how I need to calculate the distance covered, and how I will calculate the acceleration. Okay. So from here, if you observe here now, this graph. So here you just observe here this line. Here we are having a B. Here we are having a D point. Here we are having a C. We are having a B, D, C. I can write this BD plus DC is equal to BC now. I can write now BC, this full length is divided into BD plus DC. I can write now. This one, see here, we are having a sum. A, C, it is B is there. I can write this AC is equal to AB plus BC. I can write like this now. So in this way only, here we are having a B and C. In between we are having a D. So I can write BD plus DC. BC is equal to. Is it okay? Now, so I can write this BC is equal to BD plus DC. So here this DC can be written as this DC is can be written as ON, OA is equal to DC. How much? This length same here we are having. This DC can be written as OA also. So here that is why I wrote here, I will write here BC is equal to BD plus DC. Instead of DC I will write OA. Okay. So here BC is equal to, what is BD? BD. We need to substitute this BD. What is the value of this BD and this DC? That we need to substitute now. So we are having a BC is a view. V means final velocity. Our final velocity is what? From here. B from here to here. It started from here now. Started from here. What is its final velocity? Means V only. So this BC is a V. I can write here BC. Here. BC is a V and OA is a U. OA. This OA is there, no? That is a U. Means our initial velocity. So I can write this BD as a V minus U. Next, from this velocity and time graph, we can calculate the acceleration of a graph also. Acceleration of an object from this graph. So acceleration is nothing but change in velocity by the time taken. Okay. So what is our change in velocity? Our velocity is changing from U to V. Initial velocity U to final velocity V. Our velocity is changing. And what is the time taken? Time taking from 0 to T. 0 to T. And velocity is changing from U to V. Clear? So then acceleration, our change in velocity, this can be written as our BD. Upon the time taken, OC. That is what here, BD by OC. So here BD can be written as A into T. So this BD I will substitute here itself. So I will tell you by drawing one graph. I will take one separate page here. I will insert one page here. So I will draw this graph here again. So see here. Okay. So I am taking from some initial velocity. See, this is our velocity in kilometer per hour. This is in time. Okay. Please understand. Here I am taking some initial velocity. This is our velocity axis. So I am taking here some initial velocity as a U. And I am moving with a uniform accelerated motion. So I am moving from here like this. Clear? Uniformly only. And I stopped here. I stopped here means what is my final velocity? This is my final velocity V. I know my initial velocity U, my final velocity is V. Till now you understood? Now I am joining this line here. Why? Because I need to calculate from this time only, at this time. Okay? This is 0. So this is our graph here. Now for my easy calculations, I will put names here. I will put some B here, D here, C, then here I can put U is our initial velocity. Just I am marking as a name A, and this is O. Okay. So you please observe this part only. Observe my cursor. So this BC can be written as what? BC is equal to BD plus DC. Can I write?
Yes, sir.
Then BD is equal to BC minus DC. I can write now. This I need to calculate this BD. This DC will go outside. So BD is equal to BC minus DC. Now BD is equal to what is BC? BC from here to here, B and C, we are having what? Final value is what? V. So V minus what is DC? This DC is from here to here, and this DC is equal to this also, no? OA also, no? We are having the same length. So how much it is? Here also that. So we are having what? U. So U. So BD is equal to, we got that BD is equal to V minus U, means final velocity minus initial velocity. BD is equal to. Till now you clear? Next, I need to find the acceleration. Acceleration A is equal to change in velocity by time. Clear now? So acceleration A is equal to, what is change in velocity? Change in velocity is U, V minus U only, na? Our velocity is changed from U to V, initial velocity to final velocity. What is the change in velocity value? That is final velocity minus initial velocity. That is V minus U. Or we can say directly from this graph, this BD value, change in velocity upon time t. So here this V minus U can be written as V minus U is equal to A multiplied with t. From here V is equal to U, just go outside, is equal to U plus t. This is the velocity and time relation. You proved now? You got me how to calculate this velocity and time relation?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we are understanding that position. Now we are understanding that position and time. Yes. Now we are understand. Now we will understand that for position and time. Position and time, that S is equal to ut plus half at square is there now. That I need to calculate. So I already know how to calculate the displacement in a position and velocity graph. How to calculate the displacement in a velocity, and next we will calculate the position. See. Position and time next. In position and time, see, you observe please this graph. I need to calculate the distance or displacement, this velocity and time graph. So I need to calculate the area of this trapezium. That is what we did in our previous example. See here, what we did here, same thing. How we calculate the displacement here? Displacement is equal to velocity into time. Same here, what we did here, displacement is equal to velocity into time. Clear? So that is what we are doing here. We are calculating the displacement. So we need to find the area of this trapezium. Okay. So how to find the area of a trapezium? I already told you, no? A, B, and this as a H. So area is equal to half into sum of two sides multiply with the height. This also we can do. Or we can calculate separately for this rectangle, and we need to calculate this triangle, and we need to add. That is what we can do. See here, same. We will calculate this rectangle. This rectangle OA multiply with OC. OA is how much? What is the area of this rectangle? We are having a rectangle is that this one O A and here C, means this is our time t na here. So this is D. Okay. What is the area of rectangle? OA multiply with area is equal to OA into OC. OA is how much? OA is U only, na? OA is U. So is equal to U into OC is how much? OC is time t only. T. So area of rectangle is equal to U into T. This I know. Next, I will find the area of this triangle. Area of this triangle. Triangle is ADB. ADB. So what is this area of triangle? Half into base is AD. Height is the BD. So half into, what is the AD? AD value. AD value is T only, na? OC is equal to AD, T. What is the BD value? BD. BD is a change in velocity. BD in our previous here. BD is a V minus U. V minus U. This is the BD. So I need to add these two areas. Okay, I need to add these two areas. So displacement S is equal to UT plus half into T into V minus U. What is V minus U? I can write this V minus U as a AT only, na? This V minus U I can write as a AT. Why? Because V is equal to U plus AT, na? So V minus U is equal to AT. Clear? So I can write here AT. So what is S? S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Clear? This is, we solve this one, position and time relation. Next, we did this one next. We did not. Next, we will do position and velocity relation. So from the same graph, from this same graph, I can calculate this one. Otherwise, I can calculate in another way also. From these two equations, I will solve these two equations. What are the two equations? V is equal to U plus AT. This is the velocity and time relation. Velocity and time relation. And another is the position and time relation of AT square. This is the position and in these two equations the common is T only. I need to replace the T. If I solve these two equations, then I will get. So you do as a homework to solve these two equations and get and remove the T. Understood? Remove the T. How I can remove the T? Just I will give you as a hint for you. Here from this equation I can write T as V minus U upon A. And you substitute this T in this equation. You will get the answer as a V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. This one you will get. Clear? Otherwise, we can do in another way. Just you calculate as a displacement the area of this trapezium. What is the area of this trapezium? Just area of this trapezium. For this one, half into, you do here, tell me here, half into, what is the base? This one, OA plus what is here BC multiply with what is its height? Height is AD. Clear? This is the area of this trapezium only, na? Understood? How I got this one? I got from this relation only. This is our area of a trapezium. So same after, so we got this one. Half into OA plus BC into OC. So from here I can write this displacement S is equal to OA is our u, initial velocity, BC is final velocity V, OC is our time by 2. So then from here I can, and I know the time V is equal to U plus AT, na? From here I can write TA as a V minus U by A, and just substitute this T is here, and I will get this one. Clear? Understood now? Everyone? Okay. Now we will do this some example problems you solve as a homework for you. Okay. You solve as a homework for you this example problems, and otherwise I can discuss any one example problem. See here, I can discuss with you this 8.6. A car accelerates uniformly from 18 km per hour to 36 km per hour in 5 seconds. Okay, he given the two velocities, initial velocities and final velocities. So our 18 is the initial velocity, 36 is the final velocity, and the time in 5 seconds. And what he is asking to calculate, we need to calculate the acceleration and the distance covered by the car in that time. We need to calculate this one. So we know already what initial velocity is 18 km per hour, and just convert it to meter per second. Why? Because here it is in seconds. 5 seconds is there now. So I need to change my speed into a meter per second. You know na? 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 5 by 18 meter per second. 1 meter per second is equal to 18 by 5 kilometer per hour. This is the two relations. To change meter per second to kilometer per hour to meter per second. Okay. So here from this you can calculate the acceleration. Acceleration from our first equation, velocity and time relation is there na? V is equal to U plus AT, and I need to know the acceleration. Acceleration is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity upon time. I know final velocity and initial velocity, and time also I can calculate the acceleration. Second is that distance covered by the car, the distance covered. We are having a position and time relation. S is equal to ut plus of at square. I need to calculate this S. I know this u, I know this t, I know this a. Why? Because I got this a, and I know the time. So I will get the distance covered also. Is it clear? And you solve the remaining problems also. You solve this remaining problems, and when if you not get any answer for any problems, we will discuss it in the next class. Now I will introduce one more new concept, uniform circular motion. What is a uniform circular motion? First, just till now we learned that a uniform motion. Till now we learned that a uniform motion and uniform accelerated motion also we learned till now. Okay. Then suppose if you observe any rectangular track, any one rectangular track is there. One athlete is running from here. He runs here. Again he needs to change his direction, so he slows down here. Again he will speed up, slow down. Again he speed up, slow down. So how many times he has to slow down in his one track for a rectangular track? How many times he will become slow? He will start from here, one time, two time, three time, and four time. We are having a four corners. That is why he needs to slow down four times. For a hexagonal track, he needs to slow down how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times. For octagonal shaped track, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times he needs to slow down. Then, if you take a circular graph, a circular motion or a circular track, he needs to slow down at anywhere. No, no. He will increase his speed. He will increase his speed in the circular track. Okay. Suppose how this circular track is happening. Now we are having a 8 corners. Suppose if I am having a 16 corners, then this line segment is there. This line segment is there. The length of this line segment will be reduced. What is a circular track? Circular track is nothing but a infinite number of corners are there. Infinite number of corners. So that is why we cannot able to recognize where is a corner. Means each point is acting as a line segment in a circular track. So our velocity will increase in a circular track. Clear? And our motion will increase in a circular track if we move along a circular path. And it will be in a accelerated motion. Why? Because my velocity will change with respect to time. Initially, I will start with a slow race only, and after that I will increase my velocity. Now, if I compare my previous, if I find my change in velocity is always positive. Means suppose here I am running with a 10 km per hour. Now, here I will be running as a 20 km per hour. What is the change in velocity? 20 minus 10. It is a positive. So in circular path, we will be move with a accelerated motion. So now I need to find the velocity. What is the velocity of this circular path track or this accelerated motion? This velocity is equal to distance by displacement by time. So what is my displacement? My displacement is that I am starting from here and I will end here. This is nothing but what? My circumference of a circle only, na? This displacement.
Yes, sir.
So what is the circumference of a circle? Circumference of a circle is a 2 pi r. 2 pi r. R is a radius. R is a radius. My circumference of a circle is a 2 pi r. Time is a t. So this is the speed v given on a circular track. So the maximum speed is a 2 pi r upon t. Understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now I will give as an example, I will give as a homework for you. If I move in this circular path more than this speed, speed v means for radius r and t, means I will calculate. I will take some example as a radius is of a circular track, some 10 meters or 100 meters or 50 meters, and time I will take in how many minutes you cross the track, that I will give. Based on that I will calculate this. Once some speed I will get. But if I run more than that speed on a particular track only, then what happens? That you need to think yourself. Okay? If I run more than that speed in a particular track for that given radius and time, in that time, what happens? That you need to think about yourself. And have you observed some? Have you observed? Just you tie one stone with one thread, and you just rotate itself, and you just throw. What is its moment? So it is rotating here. No? When he throw here, no? When he leave here, no? This stone, suppose here it will fall here, or if it come, it will go in a straight path. It will go in a straight path. Like this, it will fall there. Okay, and these are the some means this is our practical, and see, take a piece of thread and tie a small piece of stone at one. This just you do this activity, and you please go through these activities. Okay, and see, when you observe in a discus throw, one game is there. No? Discus throw. One discus throw is there. They will throw like this. They will rotate first themselves,
Yes, sir.
and they will rotate themselves, and they will throw.
Yes, sir.
Means how much their speed is there in rotation, that depends how much distance they will throw their discus. And when you see shot put game, no? Shot put games, they will
Yes, sir.
take that hammer, that load here. They will go like this. They will see like that. They will rotate some 2-3 rounds, and they will throw. You observe. You just type Google in your Google shot put game in Olympics. If you see, you will be getting in video. YouTube will getting some videos. So please go through that. The practical application of this speed means in a circular motion. Okay, how it will be when we change our speed, how it will be, and when we throw in a circular motion, how much distance it will cross. That depends on that you are crossing, you are turning speed only. Clear? So with this we completed our chapter. See, with this we completed our chapter motion, and we learn these things. What we learned? We learned that from the basics, the introduction of a motion, and we described what is a motion, and after that uniform motion and non-uniform motion, and in that one we learned about the distance and displacement, and we learned about the speed and velocity. We learned about the rate of change of velocity is a acceleration, and we learned about the graphical representation of a motion in position and velocity, in position and time, velocity and time, and position and velocity, and we derived the equations also. So with this we completed our motion chapter. So thank you.